Let the sun shine on you today. Let that sun shine. When the sun shines, you gotta just leave your worries behind. Isn't that right? Let the sun shine. A good day, sunshine. What did I say? Good day, sunshine. Good, do it again. Good day, sunshine. One more time. A good day, sunshine. We gotta laugh, 'cause when the sun is out, I got something I can laugh about. I feel good in a special way. I'm in love and it's a sunny day. Go, good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Let's see. Where else should I go? Let me see. Oh, let's do this just for grins. Ooh, I just made that about sunshine. Ooh, you know where we're going? One more time, here we go. Ooh, just like that. Do it again. I couldn't help it. Let me see. I'm not done just yet. Let me see. Let's see. Let the sunshine. Let the sunshine. Let that sun shine in. Go. Let the sunshine. Let the sunshine in. Let the sun shine in. One more time. Let the sunshine. Let the sunshine. The sun shine in. Let the sun shine on you today. Feel the sun shine. What you cannot change, leave it behind. Let that sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. Sunshine, 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 sunshine. Good day, good day, sunshine.
Please join me in prayer. We know that there's only one life, that life is God. That life is perfect. That life belongs to each and everyone within the sound of my voice, whether they're here or watching this message virtually. And what we know is that the beginning of all life, the beginning of all good, starts with that one life that connects each and every one of us on planet Earth and beyond. We are so grateful for everyone who's come together here this day to make this service a possibility. And we give thanks for our beautiful musician, Karen Karsh. We give thanks for our AV wizard, Travis Tucker. We give thanks for Debbie Patterson and Lois Wajek, our hospitality team. We are very grateful for our Kindred Spirits community, for Dennis Gonzalez, for Nancy Gonzalez. We give thanks for the presence of our Mickey Mock, who reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously, and that laughter is the language of love. We are grateful for all of our practitioners here. We're grateful for all of the members who come here to celebrate the one life that we are all a part of, in the knowledge that it is all perfect. And as we roll into September, we're looking at the Metaphysical Bible, the book that comes alive for us with the teachings that Dr. Holmes gives us from Jesus, directly from the Gospels. We give thanks for Reverend David Howard, through whom Spirit is going to deliver a message that each and every one of us in this space and everyone in the sound of my voice will need and will be able to take forth out into the world to help us make the world a better place. I give thanks for each and every soul that is in this space and everyone within the sound of my voice, everyone everywhere, knowing that they are all unique expressions of that divine, perfect life that is God. And I release these words into that law that knows how to mold, make, shape, and create all the good there is everywhere for everyone. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. Wow, this prayer stuff is kind of fun. Kind of get lost in that. I've even got some words of inspiration. How about that? We're going to start off with Esther and Jerry Hicks for our words of inspiration today. Your desires and beliefs are just thoughts. Ask, and it is given. You ask through your attention, through your wanting, through your desire. That is the asking, whether you desire for it to happen or not to happen. You are asking. You do not have to use your words. You just have to feel it in your being. I desire this. I adore that. I appreciate this. And so on. That desire is the beginning of all attraction. Our second set of words comes from Emmett Fox. The truth is to be sought for its own sake. The knowledge of truth is its own reward. And that reward is health, harmony, and prosperity. To begin with, but it is only the beginning. Manual page turner. I don't have an electronic one. The real object of the seeker should be the development of his own higher faculties and powers. In a word, it's spiritual evolution. From our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes. The account of creations which says that in the beginning God created heaven and earth does not refer to a time when there was no creation, but rather to the process of eternal creation, which is a continual manifestation of spirit. An eternal creation is proven by the fact that we must suppose spirit to be conscious intelligence. And there can be no conscious intelligence unless it is conscious of something. Spirit is consciousness. Hence, it must be conscious of something. Therefore, it must always create. We have got Reverend David Howard here, who made us feel very welcome after COVID, invited us into his home at Unity, made us feel at home and welcome there. We get to do that for him today. I've got a rap sheet on him here. So he's an ordained Unity minister and a licensed minister with spiritual living. And he's currently serving as senior minister at CSL Parker, where a lot of our rowdy friends are hanging out down there. And they just love him too. They sing his praises. So we're really blessed to have him here. Reverend David served as spiritual leader and senior minister at Unity Spiritual Center in Denver from 2014 to 2022. Prior to moving to Denver, he was a spiritual leader at Unity of Arlington from 2008 to 2014. He's the author of In This Moment, Prayers of the Well and of Awareness, and he's released 2 musical projects too. Now, I've heard him singing, and I would hope I didn't drown him out because he sounds a lot better than I do. I can tell you that. The other, the 2 musical projects, one is called Spark, and the other one's called Coming Home. So I haven't heard those, so I have to find out more about those. He loves living in deep spiritual questions, but never claims to have all of the answers. Without further ado, young David, please come up.
I have not been called young in quite a long time. So yes, I am so blessed to be here today. So thank you for welcoming with open arms and love. And you guys are you got so much going on here. I'm amazed at all the energy that's moving in this place. I can feel it. I feel the excitement. Oh my God. And I am so blessed to be here with Karen Karsh again after all this time. We got to minister together at Unity several times, so I'm so pleased to be here with you, Karen. Thank you for that. So it seems that God and Eve were walking one day in the Garden of Eden, just enjoying the plants and the flowers and the scents and the water, appreciating everything. And God said to Eve, well, how is it working for you? She said, well, all is well, except, I get a little lonely sometimes, and, I do everything myself. And God said, well, we can take care of that. We can create you a helper. But I have to warn you about one thing. He will have a very big ego, so he'll have to believe that he came first. So, yeah, all the women are laughing, right? So I was so excited when Denise, I spoke with Denise and she told me about the Metaphysical Bible theme for this month, because that has been something that has so excited me over the years with coming into Unity to New Thought. I mean, I was telling somebody earlier, I did begin my journey in religious science back in 1995 or so, and then Unity called. But before that, I was raised a Baptist, and so the Bible was very different for me, right, back then. The Bible had a very different meaning. But one of the first classes I took when I began my Unity ministerial training was a metaphysical Bible interpretation. And the Bible came alive for me in a way that had never before happened. I'm guessing many of you have had that experience when you've been studying the scriptures, the Bible. And so today, I want to begin with that because in the beginning, I do want to share something with you. Dr. Ernest Holmes says, metaphysics is the study of the relationship between the human and the divine mind. He also says, the mission of the Bible is to teach the lesson of life, of individuality, and the relationship of the individual to the universal. I'm going to have to stand in front of that thing. What I want to share with you today, again, we start in the beginning. In the beginning, God. In the beginning, source. In the beginning, life. In the beginning, love. In the beginning was all of that energy, all of that life energy, all of that consciousness, all of that substance, self-conscious consciousness, and self-conscious substance from which all is created. And you know, as I meditated this week, as I was planning to come here, it's like, well, nothing was really happening for me. I was like, well, what do I talk about? What am I going to talk about? What should I say? Right? And then what came to me? The Divine Mother came to me. And the Divine Mother came to me, and she gave me a vision that the Divine Mother is what holds all of that. An image of God. I grew up thinking of God as a man. God is this masculine image. And I think so often our culture supports that. But when we look at that energy of the mother, the nurturing, giving, supportive, idea of God, that all of that exists in the beginning. In the beginning, God. In the beginning, love. In the beginning, life that existed always. And what we know and what we teach is that in the Bible it says God moved upon. What was it that moved? How could it be anything but the energy of love that moved? That moved from that self-conscious self-awareness of that which we call God. I like to think of that as this, in Troward and Holmes talk about that God is contemplating itself so much that all of this energy, all of this love, all of this peace, all of this abundance, all of this wholeness, all of these vibrations of energy swirling around the center of God that is God. And God, contemplating that, became so full and so expansive and so magnificent that it had to express itself. It's kind of like we think about the Big Bang. That energy so built up and expressed itself that love just shot out into the universe with all of these grand ideas, concepts, these seeds of creation. As Holmes says, God involved itself in all creation. And those ideas are evolving. That God did not create the earth, so to speak, but the idea of the earth, the concept of the earth, of the plants and the animals, and all of that. If we can see it, if we can imagine it, through that vision of the divine, that all that we see has to be love. God could not create anything unlike itself, right? And so if God involved itself as that energy of love in everything, then everything must be that. Right? So in the beginning, if we could say God is love, in the beginning was love, this vibration, this frequency that we call love, that expressed itself in all that we can possibly perceive. I love that. I was talking to Sharon before service, and she was telling me about the lending library. And so I asked her if there was this book, a Holmes book that I'd been looking for, and I went in there. And then she pulled out this book that says Collected Writings by the author of The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. Well, when I sat down, I just opened it up. I love how Spirit works. I love it. And what I opened up to was this. In Universal Mind, and I don't want to interject anything to Dr. Holmes, but what I would say is in Universal Mind and Universal Heart is contained the essence of everything that ever was, is, or shall be. The seen and the unseen are in it and governed by it. It is the sole and only creative agency in the universe. And all other apparent agencies are it working in different ways. Things exist in the universal mind and heart as ideas. Ideas take form and become things in the concrete or the visible world. Thought calls things forth from the universal into expression. And so what we say about that is that God thought, God said, let there be. Let there be. And what was that let there be? It was a movement, an energy of mind. Word. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. And that Word became flesh. Now in the Baptist church, they say that was Jesus. And I say, amen, that was Jesus. But it was also you. And it was also me. In the beginning was the Word. Rocco Errico says that miltha is the word that is translated into word. And what does that mean? It means the energy of mind. The energy of mind was in the beginning. And that energy of mind was with God. That energy of mind was God. And what we say is that that energy of mind moved through thought, moved through ideas. And those ideas become flesh. Now, in the story, in the beginning, God created all of that, and then God created this beautiful garden, right? This Garden of Eden, what we call the Garden of Eden. But what we know is that the Garden of Eden is a symbol, a representation of a consciousness of unity, a consciousness of oneness. That we are designed, you and me, are created to live in that consciousness of unity and oneness and beauty and wholeness. We are designed to live in communion with God. Right? But we are also created so free that we can choose not to be. We can choose to believe in duality, which is what is represented by that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so we can partake of that. We can create thoughts from that idea of separation. And what does the story tell us? When we do that, we cast ourselves out of the consciousness of unity, the consciousness of love, the consciousness of God. There is no God that would ever cast you out of love. Now, my Baptist minister would tell me very differently. But what we know is that God is love, and God, as that love, loves its creation and expresses through its creation. I think it was Richard Rohr I was reading the other day who said, God loves things by becoming them. God loves things by becoming them. How could God not love? So we are so free, you and I, that we can choose freedom or bondage. We can choose heaven or we can choose hell. So why would we choose anything but heaven? It's a good question. And the story also tells us that God, source, life, universe, mind, heart, whatever word or phrase resonates with you, loved itself into a self-conscious being so that you and I could also contemplate ourselves as that mind, as that heart, as that love, so that we can resonate. Imagine with me that energy of God, that energy of love just swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling. And so at some point it just bursts forth in this big bang that goes out into the world with these great ideas, these divine ideas of love and joy and peace and prosperity and wisdom and all of the ideas that are manifested now and bringing forth. And imagine that you and I are that as well. We are that love. We are that energy. We are the vibration of God. We forget that, don't we? So what if we remember that and imagine ourselves as that? Imagine yourself as just simply this energy, this vibration, this frequency of love. That you are a radiating center of love. Say that with me. I am a radiating center of love. I am a radiating center of love. I am a radiating center of love. And when we contemplate that, just as we believe that this universe came into being, when we contemplate that, when we go, as somebody was saying the other day, when we go to the penthouse and we connect with that divine mind and we allow that divine mind to fill our mind, then we too get those divine ideas that we then bring into the creative medium, into the law, as we talk about. That unadulterated energy of love. And so we are meant to bring that forth into creation. As Russell was reading one of the readings he shared was, God is always creating. God is creative life itself. And guess what? You are creative life itself. So what are we creating? Are we creating from those divine ideas of love and light? Or are we allowing this other, I almost said a bad word, this other energy to confuse us? What I really felt as I was meditating this week And I don't even know if I can really express it in the way that it came to me. But we are here, you and I, in this time and space experience, to bring forth, to give birth from a virgin heart, from a virgin mind. And what I mean by that is the purest consciousness of light and love. And so our opportunity, I believe, again, is to practice that, to be that, to align to that. To think those thoughts, to say those words. How many times do we catch ourselves talking BS? Saying things that we absolutely know are not true. How often do we buy into what's going on in the world and think that it is real? How often are we getting drawn into that? How often are we casting ourselves out of the garden and suffering? When we cast ourselves out of the garden by believing that fear is real or the what is showing up is real, then we are the ones that suffer. And when we suffer, a lot of times we project that suffering onto other people. We are so free that we can choose heaven or we can choose hell. My invitation for us today is to be aware of what we're choosing. The world, in many ways, would invite us into this vibration of fear. And we would seek some solace, some way of finding safety, some assurance. Where are we going to find that? Right here. Right here. Because this is where the garden is. This is where you live in the Garden of Eden. And this is your opportunity. I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And she walks with me, and she talks with me. She tells me I am her own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Come to the garden. Come to the garden. Thank you. There's another reading I want to share with you that came, again, one of those where you open up the book and it's there. And this comes from 365 Days of Richer Living, June 15. Again, it's about divine ideas. And there's a quote from Emerson that says, "The soul's communication of truth is the highest event in nature, since it then does not give somewhat from itself, but it gives itself and becomes that man whom is enlightened." And Holmes says, And I want you to hear this. I'm just to close your eyes and breathe into this, if you will, for a moment. Allow these to be your words, spoken from your heart. I accept the responsibility of being alive in God's great universe. Truth seeks to give itself to me, and I open my mind to it. I let down all the bars. I unlock all the gates of human wrong thinking. I expect to have my consciousness flooded with inspiration as the infinite mind uses me as its channel for expression. I allow the divine to enter and absorb me. Feel that. I allow the divine to enter and absorb me. I become the divine incarnate. This is what Jesus knew, and now I know it. He sensed his responsibility to so think, act, and be, that God would find no closed doors in his mind. I shall do likewise. So are we willing to truly open our minds, unlock the gates of our hearts, and truly allow that spirit of light and love to embody us? What I know, what I believe, is the power of this teaching, the power of the legacy of this teaching, and the power that you possess, the power that I possess, to bring upon this experience a new earth. In Revelation it says, "Behold, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, because the former things had passed away." So are we willing to let those former things pass away? Are we willing to truly come home to the garden, to walk and talk and commune with the divine that is right here as us, in us, through us, as us? Are we willing to allow those thoughts, those ideas, the inspiration to come and arise into our minds and not just stay there, but to use the power of our thought, the power of our word, to express them, and to know that the Lord takes those ideas which you have involved with your love and your light, and begins to evolve those ideas into form? Are we willing? Are we ready? The world is waiting. If not now, when? If not me, then who? Yeah. So take a moment with me, if you will, and breathe. Just take a breath into your heart space. Allowing yourself to come home. Come home to yourself. As you breathe into that space of knowing, of communing, delighting. Know that you are loved. Know that you are guided. Know that you are protected. Know that you are nurtured in that space. Your divine self, that which is you, coming forth into this time and space. You are a divine idea in the mind and the heart of God. And you, as you nurture that, as you align to that, you spend your energy in that, you unfold in perfect divine order as all that you are created to be. No matter where you are on your journey, now is the time to begin. to open, to receive, to accept, and to allow, and to bring forth those ideas, to bring forth that beingness that is yours and only yours to give and to share with the world. So as you claim it, and you receive it, you allow it, and you say, yes, I am here. I am here. I am here. And as you listen, just take a short time in the silence as you listen to that still small voice of the divine that speaks to you. Love speaks to you of who you are. And so hear the voice of the divine saying unto you, you are my child, in whom I am well pleased. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. Breathe into that. Breathe it all the way down through the bottom of your feet, grounding it right here and right now. Feel that energy embodied in you, through you, as you. Feel it radiating out from you into this space and beyond. For you know you are a radiating center of love, right here, right now. And let us proclaim together, and so it is. Thank you.
Think of all the hearts beating in this world at the same time. Think of all the eyes looking out into this world at the same time. Think of all of us feeling in this world, trying to make some sense of what we see. Think of all the ways there are of seeing, and think of all the ways there are of being. Think of all the children born into this world at the same time. Feel the love surround them. Through the years they'll need to grow at the same time. Think of all the hands reaching out into this world, trying to make some sense of what we see. Ooh. Just think of those hands, were all of our hands. We would join together the world with you and me. Isn't that right? Yeah. When I think about tomorrow, we must protect our fragile destiny. There is no time left to borrow. all comes down to you and me. Think of all the hearts as one at the same time. Think of God as a garden. Think of God as heaven, and part of you and me at the same time. Think of all we've been given and all we have to lose. Life is in our trembling hands. It helps to think about all the hearts beating in the world. Think about all the hearts healing in this world. Think about you.